This is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I'm continuing my series on the four Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They're the first four books in the New Testament, and I have read through Matthew and Mark. So I'm starting on Luke, and each of these chapters go through the life of Christ, starting with his birth and going to the resurrection and then the ascension. And we have just finished Easter 2 weeks ago, so we're past the second Sunday of not the Advent season, not the Lent season. Let's just call it the resurrection season. And I noticed something when I started reading Luke, that it was started talking about John the Baptist. So I went back to beginning Mark to remind myself what beginning of Mark was like. Because I thought, I always thought that every chapter of the gospel started out with the birth of Jesus. But here we go. Mark 1:1. John the Baptist prepares the way. And Matthew, it's a little different. It does start out with the ancestors of Jesus, some of which are shared by John the Baptist. And it does go into the birth of Jesus. This is how Messiah was born. And it goes into the wise men. And then in chapter 3, it talks about John the Baptist before it starts talking about Jesus' life. But he's just after Jesus' birth. But in Matthew. But Mark and Luke start straight away with John the Baptist. Now, I speak ahead at John. Let's see. Here it is, the testimony of John the Baptist in chapter 1. Yeah, starting in verse 6. And he just talks about the Word is God and the Word's with God in the first 5, in the light, in the darkness. And then it starts talking about John the Baptist. So in Luke, many people have set out to write accounts about the events that have been fulfilled among us. They use the eyewitness report circulating among us from the early disciples, having carefully investigated everything from the beginning. I also have decided to write careful account for you, most honorable Theophilus, so you can be certain of the truth of everything you were taught. And then it goes into the birth of John the Baptist, which I will read next week. I just wanted to give you all an overview that how important John the Baptist is. He is the one that was foretold that was going to come and clear the way or prepare the path. And a lot of other sayings where he did come first, but he was not the Messiah. He prepared the way for Jesus, and he was actually Jesus' cousin. Mary, the mother of Jesus, was a kinswoman to Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. And they were Levites. I might go back into the genealogy in the Old Testament a little bit on the roots of Jesus and the disciples. I know that's covered in Matthew, and I've already read it a long time ago. But I don't know if I connected the dots with some of the disciples. James and John were also first cousins of Jesus, and their dad, oh, I can't remember his name right now, but his wife was Mary's sister as well. And I did a video on him, how he became very evangelical after his nephew died on the cross. Starts with a Z. Oh, maybe some of you know. If you know Jesus's uncle's name that starts with Z, put it in the comments, and I'll read more to you next week. I just read the first 4 verses in Luke, and we'll get into it more next week. Have a wonderful and blessed day, everyone.